Chapter 15 Advancements in Science. Let's learn medical instruments, life-saving machines, miraculous medicines, prevention of diseases. Today, science has so much of involvement in our life that it is really hard to imagine life without it. It has made our life easier and simpler. In earlier times, people were unaware of many diseases and died due to lack of proper medical treatment. Now, the times have changed. We are able to diagnose diseases and even find cure for them. In this chapter, we will learn about some medical instruments, medicines, and prevention of diseases. Medical instruments. The instruments used to diagnose, treat, study, and prevent a disease are called medical instruments. Stethoscope. Whenever you get ill and visit a doctor, you must have seen the doctor diagnosing you with a stethoscope. The word stethoscope is derived from the two Greek words, that is, stethos, that is chest, and scopos, that is examination. It is an instrument used to hear the heartbeat and breathing of a person. A French physician named René Laennec in 1781 to 1826 invented the first stethoscope in 1819. A stethoscope has a long tube with two earpieces and one chest piece which is placed on the chest. It amplifies the sound of the heartbeat so that it can be easily heard by the doctor. Clinical thermometer. How do we check the temperature of our body during fever? We use a thermometer. A clinical thermometer measures the temperature of a human body. It is measured in degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Normal temperature of a healthy human body is 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Temperature beyond this means fever. In earlier times or before the invention of the thermometer, body temperature or fever was checked by feeling the pulse or touching the body. A thermometer is put in the armpit or under the tongue for a few seconds to get an accurate reading of the patient's body. This information becomes helpful for the doctor to treat the patient. Brain tickler, which thermometer is used to measure the maximum and minimum temperatures of a place. Thermometers have a scale marked with temperatures ranging from 95 degree Fahrenheit to 110 degree Fahrenheit for Fahrenheit scale and 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius for Celsius scale. Thermometers may be analog type or digital. Analog thermometers consist of a mercury-filled bulb at the end of a glass tube. Digital thermometers are more convenient to handle. Microscope. There are millions of living organisms which are unseen by unaided eyes. Invention of the microscope made these organisms visible. Tiny objects or organisms that are responsible for causing diseases could be seen clearly and magnified through a microscope. The invention of microscope is a very interesting story. Two spectacle makers put several lenses in a tube and noted that the object seen through it appeared enlarged. It was called a flare glass and became very popular. Galileo studied this invention and further improved it. Over the years, the microscope transformed into an advanced model that is used today. Info-hive. Thermometer was invented in 1714 by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. The world of microbes or disease-causing germs came into light with the invention of microscope. They could now easily be seen, studied, and consequently the cure for these diseases also became possible. Life-saving machines. With the advancement in science, scientists and doctors made machines that were more effective and proved to be useful in diagnosing and treating a disease. They could now easily see and understand what happened inside the human body with the help of these machines. A fractured bone could be detected with the help of an X-ray machine. Brains and other internal organs can be scanned and monitored with the CT scan and MRI. An unborn child's movement can easily be seen on a monitor screen with the help of an ultrasound. Brain tickler. Who discovered the X-rays? Miraculous medicines. After scientists and doctors understood about diseases, the next task was to find a way to cure them. Invention of medicines helped in curing diseases. Let us know about some of these medicines which are very helpful to the doctors. Chloroform. James Simpson was the first one to use chloroform in surgery. Chloroform makes a person unconscious. In earlier times, surgery was very difficult as the patient remained conscious during surgery and it was quite painful for him. Nowadays, anesthesia is given to patients to make them unconscious. The early anesthesia used in surgery was chloroform. Penicillin. An antibiotic is a chemical secreted by some germs which is capable of killing other germs. Penicillin is an antibiotic discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming. Antibiotic uses prevented the growth of germs that caused diseases such as typhoid, plague, cholera, and tuberculosis. Brain tickler, which medicine is also called the painter's brush. Prevention of diseases. Advanced medicines have no doubt helped in treating and curing diseases. But as it is very well said, prevention is better than cure. Scientists have discovered some techniques which would prevent the disease from occurring. Let us learn about them. Vaccination. Edward Jenner, an English physician, is credited with the invention of the first vaccine. For many centuries, smallpox devastated mankind. Jenner found something that was strange. The milkmaids infected with cowpox never contracted smallpox. To prove his theory, he inserted pus taken from a cowpox pustule and inserted it into an incision on a boy's arm. Jenner subsequently proved that having been inoculated with cowpox, the boy was now immune to smallpox. Today, smallpox has been completely eradicated from the world. Vaccines have been developed for many diseases like tuberculosis, typhoid, diphtheria, cholera, polio, and tetanus. Pasteurization. Louis Pasteur, a French scientist, introduced the concept of pasteurization. This process involved heating of milk at a very high temperature for a certain time period and then immediately cooling it at a very low temperature. This technique was helpful in killing the germs, and the milk thus treated was germ-free. The packed milk which we use today is also treated by the pasteurization process to prevent it from spoiling for a much longer period. Antiseptics. Antiseptics are chemical agents that slow or stop the growth of germs on external surfaces of the body. They help prevent infections. In earlier times, many people died of infected wounds after surgery. Joseph Lister, a British surgeon, found that the wounds can be protected from infection by washing them with carbolic acid. He had discovered the first antiseptic. InfoHive. Lister is now known as the father of antiseptic surgery. Recap. Stethoscope is an instrument used to hear the heartbeat and breathing of a person. A clinical thermometer measures the temperature of a human body. Tiny organisms that are responsible for causing diseases could be seen clearly and magnified through a microscope. James Simpson was the first one to use chloroform as an anesthetic in surgery. An antibiotic is a chemical secreted by some germs which is capable of killing other germs. Edward Jenner, an English physician, is credited with the invention of the first vaccine. Louis Pasteur, a French scientist, introduced the concept of pasteurization. Antiseptics are chemical agents that slow or stop the growth of germs on external surfaces of the body and help prevent infections. Values for life. Live a healthy lifestyle and you will be able to prevent many diseases. If elders of your family get ill, care for them. They have done it for you many times.